Yes, the mic is on, and I'm moving the chair, and I'm getting things all re-straightened up while you guys just look at the Thursday Night Live show banner coming up on the screen. But I think I got everything moved around. I've made enough noise. Alright. Oh my gosh, guys. You guys are probably wondering why I ended it. It's just because that way it's a guitar review. Someone checking out the review doesn't necessarily have to watch the end part where we just kind of chew the fat and talk about things. So I wanted to kind of separate it, and we'll see how the traction works. The other ones we've done, we kept talking and we went into other topics. This time I wanted to do pretty much just a review and talk about Firefly in general. So we'll see how this one works. The previous live reviews that I've done really don't get the views as a guitar video review. Yeah, I'm not understanding YouTube's AI. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not overly concerned. I have noticed a difference in the subscriber count since I released dual videos. YouTube likes videos. It's not really a live stream platform. It doesn't seem like.
Devastator wants to know when you're going to talk about the box in the background.
The box in the background. Now, guys, I hate to break it to you, but it's already labeled. It's already labeled. See what it says? Let me get it turned around here. Yep. This is Jupe's guitar, and it will be mailed out tomorrow. I had to package it and clean it, and I did. He told me not to put strings on it, guys, and it took, well, I'm not going to lie. I couldn't just send it out the way it was. I almost went ahead and put strings on it and just tuned it up, and I'm like, he told me not to. He told me, but I'm down there and I'm feeling the back of the neck. And this one has a heavily roasted maple neck. And I'm feeling it and I'm kind of going, yeah, I can't send this to him like that. So I didn't record it, but I went over the back of the neck with some 1800 grit really lightly just to take that wood feel off of it. That I can't explain it. So I went over the whole back of the neck and around the top and down around the seat with the 1800, and I put one coat of tried and true on it. And with tried and true, you wipe it on, you keep rubbing it, you keep rubbing it, you keep rubbing it, you keep rubbing it until it's dry. So the whole point is you don't apply it and wait for it to dry. It's a rub-in finish. So it's almost the consistency of like molasses. When you put that on the neck, you just keep rubbing it in, rubbing it in, rubbing it in, rubbing it in. And as you're rubbing it, it's drying. Okay? And you keep rubbing it until it just gets, well, one, dry, and two, like a piece of glass. So I only put one coat on it because I just lightly hit it, but it made all the difference in the world in the back of the neck. So once I was done with that, I took the tremolo bar out. I wrapped the bar up in a napkin and taped it, put it in the box, taped it all up, and forgot the goodie bag. Brought it upstairs, and the goodie bag was sitting here on the thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot the goodie bag. So I had to cut open the box again, slide the styrofoam sarcophagus out, cut one section of the tape, and then tuck the goodie bag into the styrofoam sarcophagus. The very top, it's got like a little compartment at the top. Slipped it into that, retaped it, and then so it's ready to go out tomorrow to USPS for shipping.
I gotta address the box.
Yeah, we've got to address the box. Last time they made us write on the box for whatever reason. I mean, they put a big shipping label on it. Why am I putting the address on the box? It's got a big shipping label that they slap on it. I don't really understand that, but that's what they require. So Linnell's going to take it down to USPS tomorrow and get that out to Jupe. So hopefully it won't take too long. Jupe just sent us a package, guys, and y'all were picking on Jupe Juice. Jupe Juice has got nothing on what he just sent us. We don't have the. Did we save the container?
No.
We didn't save the container, but it's got the old mayor of Rhode Island on it, and it's marinara sauce, and we made like a spaghetti with like shells, and we added it was diced tomatoes
Chilies.
with green chili in it,
Turkey sausage.
and then some turkey sausage. We added that to it. Oh my gosh, yeah, we're Amazoning that to see if we can get it on Amazon. That was awesome. I'm sure it's good without the turkey sausage, but we added turkey sausage and some petite potatoes with green, tomatoes, petite potatoes. I can't speak tonight for whatever reason, and with green chili. So we added 1 can of that and the turkey sausage, let it cook for about an hour and 15 minutes, and then just poured it over the shells. Oh my gosh, that stuff was awesome. So Jupe sent us that package. We don't have stuff like that. Like he sent the vanilla. Linnell says the vanilla stuff's awesome, and the chocolate coffee stuff is awesome. Virginia really, I mean, I live in Northern Virginia. We have White House right outside of Winchester that makes applesauce, but they don't do much anymore. Most of the manufacturing has been moved off.
Jupe
And
said they'll send more.
well, we're going to try to find it, Jupe, on Amazon. There's got to be, it can't just be sold in your state. There's got to be a way for us to get 4 or 5 jars of that stuff. It was pretty good.
It would probably be shipped out of Rhode Island.
Yeah, it'll be shipped out of Rhode Island, but I'm pretty sure if I type it directly into Amazon, it should come up. But yeah, so now we have Jupe marinara sauce that we're gonna put on guitars before we before we test them out. So yeah, that was awesome. It was a pretty big can of that stuff. It was yummy. So we got that this week. When we got it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it yesterday, and then we were like, nope, we're having that for dinner. So we cooked it up and served it up. It was really good. So thank you so much, Jupe, for sending that. It was really good. So your guitar will be on the way. So guys, what'd you guys think of the Firefly? I know I've played it on the channel before, but there's the review. I think I touched base on what I saw with the guitar. We have to keep in mind that it is a $225 odd guitar. I think the switch is an issue with the guitar, and I think the jack cover. And seeing a little bit of filler around the inlays, it's probably not too bad. This one I see more on this particular guitar than the newer Fireflies. The older Fireflies, like Linnell has on the wall, they did have some filler around the inlays, but they've gotten better. So it was kind of weird when they brought this guitar out with conventional frets and the veneered rear, and then I see the issue with the inlays on the fretboard, like the older ones. It was almost like this guitar was built 3 or 4 years ago, and this particular one was just never sold. It could have been something of that nature. That's why it had conventional frets. But it's a cool guitar. Definitely a cool guitar. Oh my gosh, he says, Avery, you're really going to like my next surprise. Oh my gosh. Pentagore, it was good. I'm an Adventist,
Wait a minute.
so I cheat. We do have sausage sometimes, but we use turkey sausage in this. So it was really good.
He might be talking about the guitar, dear, because it said it sounded really good.
Oh, it sounded really. You're talking about the guitar. I'm talking. You can tell I'm hungry because I'm thinking about the juke marinara sauce. Yeah, I thought the guitar does. It has a good sound to it. It does, especially at this price point. I mean, if you got this guitar and you wanted to put some of the best, that Dylan Talks tone, I've got some of his P90s downstairs, the black ones, and man, they just phenomenal sounding pickups. It's like $200 for both of them. So you get $200 there, $30 for a real Switchcraft switch, and $7 for a pure tone jack. Potentiometers are cheap. You can get Barnes or CTS or Alpha pots for $3 or $4 a piece. So you're under $250 added to this guitar if you did the work yourself. It puts you in the $500 price range, and it would be top notch. Especially with now you can get cheaper P90s. There's a Omni Pure or something, or I'm pretty sure it's Omni Pure on Amazon. I have a set of those as well, and they're good sounding P90s. These don't sound too bad. What I would do with this guitar is pure tone output jack and a Switchcraft switch, and I think I would leave it stock and just play it. The tuning keys are so-so. So if you wanted to do a good budget upgrade, I'd get some nice tuning keys for it. These are the Grover esque. So you could get some Goto tuning keys, put you a Switchcraft switch in it, pure tone jack, and you'd be set to go. You could do that for under $90, and it would be ready to rock and roll. Devastator. So I thought that's why you were. Do it ourselves. I thought that's what we have you for, Avery. Oh, okay. I mean, I can fix it and send it to you. That's fine. But other people watching the stream, if they want to purchase something like that, this is one of the good ones. So if you see one, maybe on Marketplace, I did do a search, and I never knew Firefly made a blue silver one. The blue silver one with the P90s and the regular frets, it's sharp looking. So the only two I saw was the gold top and that one. So either one of those two guitars, if you pick one up on Reverb or eBay or something, that's what you would be looking at. It would make you a phenomenal little Les Paul. And for Kurt N-Scale, that'll be next week. I'll take my Sawzall and we're going to cut into the body and remove the neck, and we'll bolt it. We'll convert it over to a bolt-on. We'll put a little neck plate on the back of it, put some bolts on it. It might be a better tool to use we call them beavers. It's a little tool about this long. It has a little blade that vibrates. You get in there and cut that neck right out, pop it out, and then convert it over to a bolt-on. Oh my gosh, Devastator's on fire tonight. So what do you guys think? This is our open chat. We are getting to the point, guys, where we need to make a decision on our little surplus account from the super chats. So we're at about 160, 165 right now. So do we want to do a budget guitar? We could set a goal on what we want to do. If we want to order a $250 guitar, or do we want to save up a little bit more and do a $400 guitar? And keep in mind, guys, the guitar that's purchased with the super chat money, we're going to do a giveaway on. So our first guitar with super chat, we'll do the review, and then somehow we're going to figure out how to do a giveaway on it. So keep that in mind as well. We don't want to save up $700 maybe do a $300, $400 guitar or something in that price point. Kurt says save up. Okay, we can keep saving.
Devastator said he's got to make up for Jerry not being in here.
Oh yeah, I wonder where was Jerry. I didn't pay attention to the chat. Was Jerry in the live?
No.
No, he wasn't. Jerry probably fell asleep waiting for the live stream. That's what happened. Save up for a Gibson Les Paul. Oh my gosh, we'll be doing it. That might be next year, guys, if we're saving up $3,000 for a Les Paul. That one would be kind of hard to do. We might be able to do an Epiphone though. We could do an Epiphone. Definitely do an Epiphone. That '60s Epiphone is a pretty nice guitar. We could definitely do that one. The '50s one is good too. It's just got the thicker neck. Either one of those two guitars would be good. Yeah, Kurt says 3 years. It probably would take 3 years. That's okay. It's no biggie. So I think you guys were talking in the chat about the Yamaha amp of Linnell's. I have not technically taken it over yet, but I do like it. Guys, for what it is, when I come out of the headphone jack directly into the interface, it seems to work really well. It's got a good sound. I'm highly impressed with that little Yamaha amp. I can't say anything bad about it. Even when I unplug it and I just listen to the little speakers that's in it, it has great stereo imaging. So yeah, I'm highly impressed with that little amp. I was thinking about getting something, maybe another Katana, but I believe this has knocked the Katana out. And the Katana does more as far as effects, but I don't, oh my gosh, Jupe with the $20. We're gonna have a talk, Jupe. Oh well, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. I think this little Yamaha does, the sound is just a little bit better. Well, it's a lot better than the Gen 2 Katana I had. I think the Katana, the new Gen 3 does more, but I would have to set them side by side. This little Yamaha is a lot smaller and a lot more portable than the Katana. And this is stereo imaging, and the Katana didn't have it. So, and this amp here was less money than the Katana. This one was what, 2, or was this one 3?
I think that one was 3.
$329, I think, for this one, and I think the Katana is $299. So this is a little bit more than the Katana, but it's impressing me. I have not been using my Line 6 Stomp, and that's nothing against the Line 6 Stomp. It's just my ability to program it. I'm still figuring out the effects chain on it. Each block, you can only do certain things, and it's almost like it limits you. If you use something that requires a lot of the DSP, digital signal process, it locks out some of the other blocks. So it says that you can run up to like 7 or 8 at one time. It really depends on the effects that you're running. Sometimes you can only run 4 or 5 effects, depending on the modulation. The modulation effects, certain modulation effects take away blocks. I guess it's it just doesn't have the processing power to do all that simultaneously. But the Line 6 is fine too. Yes, limited processing. Yeah. I've got the little one. This is just the Line 6 HX Stomp. It's not the larger one with the more buttons. This one only has 3 buttons on the front. But going to the hotel, if we were out taking a trip, the Line 6, I have to use headphones. Okay? But I can put it in my gig bag with my headless guitar. My headphones, the Line 6 Stomp, and the guitar all fit in the little gig bag. And I throw that in the truck.
You need
But you're restricted to the headphones. I could take the Yamaha and I could play at low volumes in the hotel room and get that stereo image, but it's not as compact.
You could read Kurt's.
Avery, you really need to get the editor for your PC controlling the Line 6. Yeah, maybe I could do that tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be an easy work day for me, so I might come home and actually download that. I've got to watch what I do. This computer here with OBS and everything else that's on it, it's pretty well taxed. I cannot run the Motul sync software on this computer with anything else up. It locks up the computer. My son has another computer that he's upgraded to a new one, and he says his old one is better than this one. So hopefully, maybe he's supposed to come over this weekend with his new Firefly guitar. So hopefully I can talk to him, and maybe I can talk him out of that computer and flop the hard drives and stuff over. Whatever I do, I don't want to get in a position to where I'm computerless, because everything that I do is on this machine. So I don't know how comfortable I am dismantling this machine, putting it in another machine, and then finding out that I screwed myself and I can't get back on the live stream and do that. So I would feel more comfortable him bringing that machine over, me ordering another hard drive, loading all my software on that one, getting everything working, and transferring the files over to the newer computer. Once I know it's operating right, then hook that one up. And once I do my first 1 or 2 live streams with the new computer, pull the drives out of this computer and then stick in that one. I still have an Adaptec card where I can raid a bunch of drives together. That's one reason I'm still an SCSI guy. I like SCSI. And the main reason I like SCSI is I can run my Adaptec SCSI card, and I can run up to 30 hard drives. I can have them all as individual drives, or I can have them read as one solid drive. With this one, I forget what it's called. It's not SCSI. It's I think I can only have 4 drives. I can have a master, a slave, and a secondary master and a secondary slave without getting an adapter card. I'm pretty sure on an IBM clone that's all you can do. If someone knows, they can shout out. I'm not a computer guy, but I'm pretty sure these type drives that are non-SCSI base, I'm only allowed to have a master slave, secondary master, and a secondary slave. I think it's 4 drives. Now, I know you have your M.2s, so I could do an M.2 as well. But I don't know. We'll see. He's supposed to come over this weekend. But I definitely need to upgrade the computer. Jupe says, I have the Helix LT. It has all the same processing power of their flagship floor unit, but has less inputs and no scribble strips that light up. The Helix LT, I looked at a Helix, but the Helix I looked at was the rack mount unit. Everyone knows I'm a rack guy. I like racks. So I didn't know they had 2 floor models of the Helix. I know they had the big Helix floor model. I think it had an expression pedal on it as well. But I didn't know they made a smaller version of the Helix. I thought you had the rack mount Helix, the floor Helix, and then it went to the HX Stomp. The bigger Stomp and then the little Stomp. I didn't know that there was a smaller Helix version. SATA ports. There you go, Kurt. Yeah, SATA ports. I couldn't remember, but I think I'm right on that. I think I'm only allowed 4. You have 8 drives, and see, I don't know how to do that. I know with SCSI, you just change the jumper. on the back of the drive, and then you set up the Adaptec card per that jumper to see how it reads, whether it's a master, a slave, or a piggyback, where it piggybacks off another drive and it just sees it as one drive. But I haven't done that stuff in a long time. The LT doesn't have the headphone volume dial. See, I'm not familiar with it. I'm going to go with the Fractal. I think the Helix and the Fractal are both up for massive updates. I'm surprised Line 6 has not updated the rack mount Helix and stuff. It's got to be, going on 7-8 years on that platform. And the Fractal is probably going on at least 4 or 5 years on the FX3 platform. So usually with Fractal, it's 4 or 5 years and then they make a change. Or they at least change the unit. I think with the Axe-FX 2, they had like 3 different models. And it could be that they've just gotten so much processing power on the FX3 that they haven't needed to do a hardware change, and it's all just programming changes. That would be great, but knowing my luck, I'll buy it. 2 months later, they'll come out with the FX4, or they'll come out with, the Ultra. I think they had the FX2 Ultra. So they'll come out with the FX3 Turbo Ultra or something, and I'll be left in the dark with mine. I hope they don't. Never enough storage space. Ooh, 11 years on the Helix with no hardware changes? I find that surprising. I bought the first Line 6 rack mount unit. It was called a Line 6 Pod, and it was bright orange, and that was really the last band that I played professionally with. And I had my ART SGX 2000, and everyone was talking about how this modeling was going to change things. I think at the time I went out, it was $700. It was half the price that I paid for the ART. I used it it couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 weeks. And I ended up selling it to the rhythm guitar player in the band. It sounded fine. There was a disconnect between me and the unit. I don't know if it was legacy. It just didn't feel right under my fingers. But everyone in the band said it sounded great. It just didn't feel right for me. So I sold it to the rhythm player and he played it. I thought it sounded fine. When he played it, I thought he had a great sound, much better sound than he had before he, bought it off of me. And I went back to the ART. They claim, well, I know it's better. This Line 6 Stomp does not have that feeling that the old Pod had. So this Yamaha does not have the feeling. So I'm going to say the Yamaha is a modeling amp as well. Neither one of them have that feel, if that makes sense. So it's come a long way. At the rate you are saving up, that'll be on the 5. Actually, with Jupe's purchase back here, now technically that should go to another guitar because that one wasn't purchased for me. With Jupe's purchase, I put that in the 1. I think we're at 400 or 500 right now on the Axe-FX, I think is where we're at. And since this was a review guitar, technically the money for this guitar should roll back into the channel. Right now I just don't really, I haven't seen something that I feel would be, I shouldn't base it on what I like or what I feel would be good for the channel. I've been waiting for someone to really say, hey, everyone's talking about this. Maybe you should purchase one of these guitars. I've heard people talk about these Tease guitars. Let me grab a smoke. I want to touch base on teas, and it's nothing against teas, guys. I just want to touch base on it. Do we have a smoke? Are you smoking?
No.
No.
Devastator said he's sending another payment next week.
Oh. Yeah, I gotta find out what he's doing. Mr. Devastator, Mr. Devastator, you've got to reach out to me on Skype because I know you sent me 200, and we were going to put that on fixing the Barry Burst guitar. Before you send another payment, are you doing the Kramer Assault, or are you locking in that Kramer? Because this one's going to be a while before I get to actually fixing it. If you want it fixed, and I know you said you wanted it, I'll be honest with you, I really don't know what I'm doing with the guitar yet. So I'm assuming you're sending for the Kramer Assault. But reach out to me on Skype and we'll work it out. I keep seeing Jet come up. You know, I brought up Jet about a year and a half ago on the channel, and no one was really talking about Jet. I think I kind of missed the boat on the Jet as far as being first to the scene. Well, I know I missed the boat on that. But Jet, I believe, is probably a little above Firefly on their, let's say, $250 to $300 guitars. I think basically it's going to be about the same with a little bit better pickup and a little bit better tuning key. Especially at the 350 price mark. The Jets I would be curious about reviewing is they've got a mid-grade Jet, and they actually have a pretty expensive Jet. Jet makes some $900 to $1,200 price guitars. Not too interested in that one, but the $450 to $550 Jet, I would be curious. Is that guitar comparable to, let's say, an $800 guitar? That's what they're claiming. I forget, they've got a couple models in that price point. I would be more curious on reviewing one of those. Everyone seems to be reviewing their really budget, their $199 to $299 Jets. I think if I order a Jet, I think I'd be more curious about getting one of their mid-level Jets. And there's nothing against budget guitars, guys. We've done a ton of budget guitars. We just did a budget guitar review. But there's other guitars out there. Some people don't necessarily always want to do a $200 guitar. Maybe they're looking for a $500 guitar. That's why I tried to do reviews on the Fender. You know, it's a $600 price point. That's why we've done the Kramer Assault, the Epiphone, Alex License. So we're trying to touch base on a lot of different price points. And I think, for the most part, most of the guitars on the channel have been of good quality. They really have. And it's all what you feel is worth. You know, I think what we had someone say something the other day, I forget who it was, that there was nothing worth over $1,500. Do you remember who that was, hon? Say it was in the live chat, I think last Saturday. They made a comment, anything over $1,500, you're wasting your money. That could be true. But if you want something, like I really want a Gibson Les Paul, and I know if I want a Gibson Les Paul, it's going to be $2,500 to $3,500 for a Gibson Les Paul. But I want a real Gibson Les Paul. I have an Epiphone Alex License. It's a great guitar. It's an Epiphone. How much difference would there be? I'll be honest with you, if it was 2% better, I would be shocked. I really would. That Alex License Epiphone plays fantastic. The Gibson, if it was 2% better. So is it really worth spending twice the money or a little more than twice the money for 2 or 3%, the smart person would say no. But I want the badge. I want the Gibson. If that makes any sense whatsoever, I want the Gibson. It's something to be said too. Every Gibson is made in the United States. It's a USA made guitar. It's a Gibson product. That's what I'm going to pay for it if I want a Gibson. So I think the $500 market for right now, I think is where a lot of people are spending money, from 500 to 900. That seems to be the golden spot. Whether it's Kramer, I've even seen some EVH models in the $500, $600 range. So they've got some guitars in that. Fender, Ibanez, all these companies have a product line right in there. So I think we should maybe look at some of those guitars. Jupe says, Avery, I just checked Amazon for that Marinara. It's not there. It's not there? Did you look for it yet, hon?
No.
I don't. He's got question marks under it. So she hasn't looked on Amazon yet for it.
Well, he put question marks because that's to get your attention.
Yeah, I don't. We haven't looked for it yet. I'm kind of hoping it's there.
Well, he said he just checked and it's not there.
Oh, well, that's awful. We may. Well, I know someone in that state that I bet you if I sent an envelope with some money in, I guarantee you they would send it. They'd send us some of it. But I have to reach out to him because he's really hard to get a hold of. But I do know someone that lives in that state that I'm pretty sure could get me some more. So that's my thoughts on Jet. I don't know. I got off on a tangent, and I was going to say something earlier about I think it was another guitar company, and I lost track. But if y'all are interested in Jet, we can definitely order a Jet. But there you got to think there's other guitars too. You've got Solar. That's more of a rock guitar. Oh, now I remember it was Tees. I wanted to go over Tees guitars. I don't know if I really want to do a Tees guitar because basically what Tees is, let's just say I work out a deal with Firefly, okay? And Firefly says, okay, we're going to send you 20 guitars. And then I unbox the 20, I set them up, and I make sure they're right, and I resell them. As I understand, that's what Tees is. Tees is just ordering X guitars to his spec. He boxes them, sets them up, and then resells them. It's a really small company, so I don't know how interested I am right now in reviewing a Tees, if that makes sense. Maybe if they gain more traction like Firefly, maybe in the future. They've never reached out to me about reviewing one of their guitars. And I don't know who the main vendor is that's making Tees, whether it's Leo James or some other some other company that we know. Firefly uses 3 different vendors, so it could have been one of those 3 vendors. There's a lot of different vendors in China building these budget guitars, so I don't know who Tees has reached out to that's building those guitars. Yeah, Kurt Tees. He's a guy that orders X from China to his spec. He brings them in. He opens up the box, sets them up. I don't know if he's changing the strings on them or what's he doing, but I do know that they set them up to your spec. So when you order a Tees, you tell him the action height and the relief, and supposedly he sets it up to that, and then he sends you the guitar. So if you type it in, Kurt, on YouTube, I think there's been a bunch of channels. I think Searching for Tone has done Tees guitars. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if the Bald Shredder has done them. I know Searching for Tone has had a couple of his guitars. The Ubi, I believe, has had them on there. There's a couple of smaller channels, just like this small channel that's touched base on them. But I'm pretty sure that some of the larger channels has covered teas as well. I Googled them. Did Google find anything? Because it's a smaller company. Tease us. Anyone ever heard of Jailbreak Guitars? I haven't, Jupe. I haven't heard of Jailbreak Guitars. There's a lot of their off-brand, like the one Anderson sells. They went in partnership. I'm pretty sure it's what's that, PMT over in Europe. I'm pretty sure the PMT house brand and Anderson's house brand is made by the same company. And they got a special deal because they ordered together. I think it's East Coast for Anderson's and whatever PMT's. I'm pretty sure it's PMT. And they order a lot as far as a group. Not a lot as far as quantity, but it's a term. Sorry. I'm having a real hard time tonight, the guys talking. So they order a lot, of this and a lot of that and a lot of this. And that lot might be 50 units, 100 units, whatever it is. And they work out a special deal for Anderson's. So I know they're using the same vendor, those two. Now, I don't know who Tees is using. They have a website. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tees has a website. If you type them in, Kurt, I'm sure a YouTube video, probably 5, 6. There's been several channels cover them. The only one off the top of my head that I can think of is Searching for Tone. He seems to really like them. I'm sure they're just like the Firefly. The main issue Firefly has, sometimes you get them and they're not set up right. So if he's taking the guitar out of the box and he's setting them up, and then reselling them, it's probably one more step to get that guitar a little better. My curiosity would be price point and pickups, because he has to make money setting them up. So he has to receive them, set them up, and then reship them. So I would be curious at the price point, and if he's coming in just a fraction above Firefly, that means he has to be getting a good deal on them. So they're cutting corners somewhere to be under the $300 price point. That's just business, guys. They've got to cut a corner somewhere, especially if he's bringing them in, setting them up, and then shipping them. Now, I'm sure it's not free shipping. He's probably charging for the shipping. Somebody can look into it. Maybe let us know in the next live stream what they're actually doing there.
And you can order that marinara sauce from the manufacturing place, their website, that's actually in Rhode Island.
Oh, Tees is in Rhode Island?
No, I'm talking about the marinara sauce.
Oh, she's talking about the marinara sauce.
I found the website you can order it from.
Oh, she's found the website that we can order it from. How much is a thing of it?
$7.99.
$7.99 per container?
Yeah.
Ooh. How many's in a box? She's checking out the Jupe marinara sauce.
That's looks like it's just one. I don't know if you can choose because you can get a 3-pack, but it's got 3 different kinds for $20.99.
You got a 3-pack with 3 different kinds for 20. We only want what Jupe sent us.
Yeah, I know.
We know that's good. We're going to order some, Jupe. We're going to get some. So we just found the website, so we're probably going to order 3 or 4 cans. If we do it once a month, we order 3 of them, that's good for 3 months. Linnell's a really good cook. I like cooking. So we just found it was something different. And what we really liked about what Jupe sent us, when you turn the container around, you can actually read the ingredients. I mean, it was really simple. Tomatoes, blop, 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 salt, pepper. There was no long word that you couldn't You know, some of these things you turn around like, what in the world is that? It was really simple ingredients. It tasted good. So we're definitely going to get some more of it. Yeah, I kind of figured, Kurt. He says you can get a Squire for these prices. But I don't know the gentleman. I know that I set up guitars pretty well. Okay. So I hate to be this way, but 80% is setup. Now you could take something that's poorly manufactured, put a good setup on it, it's still poorly manufactured. But Firefly, let's say Firefly really knocks it out of the park sometimes. So if you found that vendor that's making that guitar and you contacted them and said, look, I like these products that you're making for Firefly. Can we just change the headstock on it a little bit? You keep the quality control the same. Okay, Firefly is making money at, let's say, their prices have went up. Their new LPs now, the one I just looked at was $270 for the green and black Crackle, $249. So the day of the $199 Firefly, I think we're starting to move out of that. So if they're making money at, let's say, $230 for their site price, they've got to be making at least 40%. So that means they're getting it for 150, 160 bucks, give or take. So if you could get that guitar shipped in, and you got to buy, let's say, 50 or 100 of them at, let's say, $160, $170 a piece. You pull it out of the box, you've got an hour setup, and then changing the strings, doing the intonation. So you got another 12 bucks in strings, plus 2 hours labor, plus receiving and shipping. You've got to do, at bare minimum, I couldn't see how you could do it for under 150, 200 bucks to do all that, because you got to receive it, then you got to reship it, you got strings, and at least 4 hours by the time you figure receiving, shipping, and signing up. Yeah, so that's gonna put you at the 375 mark. Is it comparable to Squire? I would say the good Fireflies are. But you don't have the brand name recognition. That's the issue. So I don't know. Like I said, I haven't done a tease guitar. I don't know what they're importing in. But I'm looking at, for him to make money. I don't know if he's doing it for a living or not. But to make money, you've got to make your mark plus 30%. You have to. And your labor rate needs to be at bare minimum $30 an hour. Well, where I'm at, that would be bare minimum. And you would have to stay busy doing it. And that's a minimum, $30 an hour. I don't see how you could do it, personally. And I've said this before, that's the main reason why I don't build a custom guitar. Because I got to weigh it out, guys, what I make at work versus what I make here. I can't make $50 an hour doing guitars. I can't. And I just can't. So it's better for me to stay in AutoCAD and write programs than to build guitars. That's just how it is. I'm not saying that I like that. Would I take a pay cut to do guitars? Sure, I would. If I thought I could move here and move to a spot in the United States where the cost of living was cheaper, I'm sure I could do it for $30 an hour. But living in Washington, right outside of Washington, D.C., things are expensive here. So, and that's what I don't understand. Like Kiesel Guitars, they stay in California. The labor's expensive. Running a business in California is expensive. I don't understand why they don't move to a more friendly state. Virginia, where I'm at, is not a friendly state to do something like that as far as manufacturing. It's just not. The cost of living here is too expensive. Now, Southern Virginia, like Southern Virginia, it's a lot cheaper down there. You'd have a better opportunity there with 81. You would still have an interstate for shipping, and the cost is cheaper. It's named Torsen or something like that, and he shows vids on setting them up. Takes him about 40 minutes. Yeah, Steven. Yeah, but I can see that. As long as you're not getting into major things, I can see 40 minutes for a setup. But that's the guitar has to be good out of the box. You know, some of the Fireflies, sometimes the frets aren't quite right, or maybe you got a high fret. I mean, if you're reboxing and everyone knows you're reboxing an import, I would want to go through with a fret rocker, check all the frets. If I had a high fret, I would adjust the high fret, do a truss rod adjustment. And anytime you touch a fret, that means you got to clean and polish. Then check the intonation. You know, do all those things. I don't see being able to do all that in 40 minutes. I think if you got one or two high frets and you're changing the strings, I think I could probably do it in 2 hours, 2 high frets. You know, get them right, redress them, polish them, check your pickup height, get that right, get your spec right on your action height on what the customer wanted, set the intonation. I think you could probably do it in 2 hours. But your workstation would have to be set up to do that particular work, if that makes sense. And the more you do it, the more proficient you become. I'm sure you could probably cut that time down. I'm sure he's got a system where he sets it up, 40 minutes, bam, done, put it in the box. He knows what he needs to do in that hour, if that makes sense. Uh-oh. Y'all are talking about something. Yeah, well, Linnell's doing the vanilla syrup things.
The old White Russians.
It's like a White Russian without the kick. That's it. That's good stuff, though. I can't, if you guys don't know, Jupa sent us 3 packages. First one was like this coffee, chocolate syrup stuff. That stuff's yummy. I've been doing that. And then he sent us the vanilla one. And I haven't had the vanilla one yet. Linnell's been cabbaging on that one. And then he just sent us some marinara sauce. The marinara sauce was awesome. So yeah, that's on Tees. I just wanted to touch base with the Tees guitars. I hear people talking about it. I don't really have an interest in reviewing. If they reached out to me and sent me a guitar, I'd be more than willing to review the guitar if someone's interested in it. But I haven't had any subscriber to this channel say, well, maybe 1 or 2, that says you should check out Tees. And that's about it. I haven't been flooded with people saying, check out Tees, check out Tees. I think there would be more people wanting to see Squire or Jackson or even Sire guitars makes a $300, $400 guitar. I think the S3 you can get for like $350. It's a Sire. So I would be more curious at looking at what $400 gets you with a Sire than a Tees, if that makes sense. He charges $50 for custom setups. Oh, I thought that was part of the purchase price, that he sets it up to your spec. I did not know that. I thought you got a setup on every guitar to your spec. So he's adding $50 to set it up to your spec. Yeah, like I said, he's got to make money. I just don't. I don't know if you could. Well, he's obviously he's doing it, so he's making it work. Yes, AIO. They were really the first company to come right out and say, look, we don't build the guitars. We have a manufacturer. They're building it to these specs. We receive the guitar. We unbox it. We address any issues and set it up to your spec and send it to you. I'm pretty sure they were the first ones to come out of the closet saying that's what they were doing. And I've heard good things about the AIO. And several people have actually asked about it too. I just haven't seen one that I'm overly interested in. But if you guys are interested in that brand, we can order one from them. But keep in mind, whatever we do from the pot, we're doing a giveaway
Kurt
because
said,
that's all your all's money. So it'll just roll over and be given away.
Kurt said the AIO guitars do the same thing with setups, and their guitars look to be of way better quality.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. AIO, they've been doing it for a while. I want to keep saying the AIO Wolf, for whatever reason, keeps coming in my squirrel brain. So they must have a Wolf. Yep, Wolf guitars. I was just saying that as you typed that in. That's too funny. Yeah, the correlation there just comes in my little squirrel brain. Oh, Devastator. I'm going to come out of the closet on the AIO. You got to worry about me. I've got a funny little honey in there. She keeps me straight. That's too funny. All right, guys. I think tonight we're going to wrap it up a little early because I do have another thing that I need to take care of tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow will be a shorter work day. And ETA on Jupe's next video. I'm going to say midweek next week will be Jupe's next video. And in that video, we leveled all the frets, I crowned all the frets, and dressed the frets. And that's all we're covering in that video. And believe it or not, it's going to be the average music and gear video. It's going to be a little over an hour to cover all that. And I'm showing everything. So if you're interested on taking on a fret level, watch this video. The more you do it, guys, the better you'll become at it. I'm not trying to lose work. I love working on guitars. But being able to service your own guitars means a lot. You don't necessarily have to do a fret level, but being able to repair a fret here or touch up something there, watching the video will teach you how to do it. And a lot of people say these budget guitars are great guitars to learn on, and they are. It's a $200 guitar. You know, you can pick one up or even pick up a used guitar on eBay. You know, start dipping your toe in the water and figure out if it's something for you. And of course, you also have to keep in mind there's a lot of tools. Like a good fret file is a good 60 to 80 bucks. A leveling beam is going to be 40 or 50 bucks. A fret rocker probably 15 bucks. You're going to need a gauge, a tooth gauge. That's going to probably be 30 or 40 bucks. So when you start looking at the tools, it can start to add up. And I've done some videos in the past doing budget tools. You don't necessarily have to have a notch trowel. You don't necessarily have to have a level beam. I've showed how to do that, how to dress frets without a dressing file. But to do it, and you're going to do it consistently, you need the tools to do it. So I understand why some people don't. But if you're into it, first tool I would say fret rocker. Next tool, maybe a mini leveling beam, like a little 6-inch, so you can do touch-up work. Then a crowning file, then a dressing file, and then a large beam to do full necks. And then start out small. You know, StewMac makes the little fret kisser. You can get in there and just clean up a fret here or a fret there. I have one. I just don't use them that much. Haven't done a video on it. I should probably do a video on that, using a fret kisser. Just haven't yet. So that'll be the upcoming video on Jupe. And then, of course, Saturday night, everyone knows that's our main live stream night. Tonight, I didn't want to just give you a 1 hour review. I wanted to do the review and then everyone come in and hang out. And I didn't play too much tonight, guys, just on the review because of my wrist. I want to give it a couple more days to heal up before I really start wailing away. So I hope everybody understands that. I'm trying to babysit my wrist a little bit, let it heal up. Yeah, Steven says, still working on better tools. There's a company, Skyscraper. I have found that their tools, I don't know if you can see that little emblem there. I have found their tools are good quality. They're not cheap, but they're not expensive either. I think that these are some of the best tools for the money that you can get. Another tool that I like is this company called Fret Guru. I think their tools are great. This come in a little leather pouch. They're scaling tools. I have the Imperial and the Metric. Great tools for the buck. And I got the Fret Guru crowning file. It's my favorite file. I just bought the Music Nomad file. Nice file. I'm not going to say anything about it. I like my Fret Guru better. Maybe it's because I've used it for so long. I think the Fret Guru, the way it fits in your hand and the way it cuts. Now, it's not a diamond embedded like my new Music Nomad is, so I might be feeling just the difference in the file. I'm not going to say that I don't like the Music Nomad yet. I'm going to use it on a couple more guitars before I actually weigh in on whether or not it's worth $85. The Fret Guru file I have, I believe, is $50 or $55. Right now, it's been out of stock everywhere. The only one that I've seen is the diamond one. The one that I have is not the diamond one. It's just the regular file. Works great. I'm trying to think what other else. Now, on my radius gauges, these are the StewMac. I've yet to find another gauge like this that is thin right here that you can do the wood radius and then you can pick it up and do your string radius on your bridge because this is so thin. And that's about what you're wanting. This thickness is about what your action height should be. You see the radius changes. So if you have a 9-inch radius fretboard, you can't set your strings to 9 inches because it's not 9 inches, it's offset from the fretboard. So this right here is your offset. Now, not every gauge, like it jumps 9.5 to 10. I believe there's a 7. The StewMac does not have like an 11, doesn't have a 13. But I think it's the most complete set. And I think it's like $50 for the complete set that StewMac sells. So I think there's a 20, a 17, an 18. It's a pretty nice set. So I only recommend the StewMac on the radius gauges. And I like the under gauge ones like that. I don't like the big square blocks because you can't do your string, your saddles on your bridges with them. Other tools, JSI screwdrivers and conventional screwdrivers. You got to have a nice set of JSI screwdrivers and a nice set of Allen tools if you can get them. Sometimes the crank nut on some of these guitars get a little funny. You've also seen my hex tools that I use. Those are actually designed for RC cars. If you type in RC car tools, you'll come up with some pretty nice aluminum hex gauge where the tool bolts into the handle and it's replaceable. I can't remember what the one, I like the Align stuff, and I can't remember the other manufacturer that I'm using. I know the one's Calvin, which is the same people that make my Agile 7.3 massive drone. So look at those if you're wanting good hex tools that have nice grips. Look at some RC car tools. You'll find some really high quality tools there for that kind of stuff. Duratrax. Yeah, I've seen the Duratrax, but the Duratrax isn't near as good as the Calvin. But there's another brand that I have downstairs for my .07 or my 1.7 and my .7 head hex. I can't remember who makes them though. It's a really expensive tool though. But I've had those tools for 10 or 12 years and they've never stripped. Same with my Calvin. They're 10, 12 years old. And I'm still on my original driver. And it's designed to be replaceable. So they're not even showing signs of wear yet. So I'll be pushing up daisies before those drivers wear out. To me, that's a tool. You buy it once, as long as you don't lose it, you're good. That's what I like about the StewMac. This is a stainless steel. It's heavy. It's not so thin where this thing will bend. I mean, it's pretty stout. It is not, you're not going to screw that up. As long as you don't lose it, this will last you a lifetime. You're never going to wear that thing out. Exact same thing with this beam, the skyscraper beam. It's thick. See how thick that thing is? A lot of these cheaper ones, look at, I'm pushing on it. It's stout. That's what you want. Buy something good. I like the skyscraper stuff. And he's a dude in his basement making stuff. I'm going to support a small builder like that. I like his stuff. I've got his notch trowels, his notch straight edges, and I've got his fret rocker. I think he's got some other tools. And then the other tool that I have downstairs, I don't think I've shown on the channel. I have some solid aluminum blocks that have different radiuses for when you do refrets for sanding the fingerboard, the fretboard down, and cleaning it. And I can't remember who those manufacturers were. I have 6 of them with different radiuses. So it's actually 12 different radiuses because each side of the block is a different radius. But they're made out of extruded aluminum. And they're really heavy duty. I'll have to look into who made those. Those are the tools that I have for doing repairs. And, my orange set of JSIs I've had for over 20 years. And I just bought some new ones about a year ago, the black handled ones. And I'll be honest with you, I think my black one with the orange tip sleeves, I kind of think I like those better. And I don't remember who the manufacturer was on those. But the new ones are nice too. I can't say anything about the new ones. They're still good tools. But yeah, just when you buy something, guys, try to buy something. When it comes to tools, try to buy something decent. Buy it once and you're done. And it's your guitar. The more accurate the tool, the better your setup and the better your end work will be when you're doing it. And it's got to be comfy. It's got to be comfy in your hand. A lot of people like the old style nut files. I've got the StewMac ones with the big ugly yellow hook with the long file in it. For me, I love that file. And a lot of people are like, they want the regular nut file, the long nut file. For me, the long nut file, it just feels weird in my hand. The little Music Nomad one has got like a little grippy piece that you put your fingers on. And the way it's designed, even if you roll in, it's hard to hit the headstock because of your distance here. Well, that tool's about that long. So unless you're really diving into the head, you're not going to booger up the headstock. And it's designed to where it feels good on your finger when you're moving it. It doesn't slip. With the big fret file, I feel like I'm back here working, okay, to get this nut. And I don't feel the curvature when I'm cutting into that nut. With the Music Nomad one, I can actually work like this, and I'm right over the nut. It feels like I have more control when I'm working on the tool. It's downstairs. I don't have that upstairs, but if you watch any of my other nut cutting videos, I'm sure that you've seen the yellow ones that I have. And I have the master set. It's got every dimension from base all the way up to .008 or something. for the 8-gauge strings. I don't think I have one for 7. But the 8 should be fine. You can usually go up one size before you get the sitar effect on the nut. The orange sleeve on that looks like it's a Calvin screwdriver. Electronic. It may be, but I know that it is a JSI. And I know that when I was getting stuff at Dulles Electrical Supply, they may have ordered those in for me. It may be a Calvin. Because my other set are Calvins too. My big Allen head sucked with the gold, those are Calvins. And they were special order. So it could be a Calvin. Oh, Vox Guitar Rocks come in. Sorry I'm late. Got busy watching hockey. Ha! Well, this is technically our second stream, Vox. Earlier we did a live review of this guitar. So you can go back and watch that one. So this is our second live. And I stopped it because I wanted a live review. Something that people can go back and it's just a review on the guitar. So when that ended, we started our chat live stream. And that's what we're doing now. But I hate to say it, Vox, but you come in on the back end. I was doing, as they say, closing arguments. So I was closing up trying to finish it. We just got off on a tangent talking about guitar working tools and the stuff that I use. So hopefully that information's good. Like, it's all in what you like, guys. You might pick up one of my tools and go, that's the worst feeling tool that I've ever had in my hand. Like I just said, a lot of people might like the new Music Nomad file. I'm not throwing it under the bus yet, but I know working on Jupe's guitar, I did the rough end work with the new file, the Music Nomad, but all my cleanup work and my end dressing, I used my old files. Maybe it's just I'm used to it and I know how they cut and I know how much pressure to put on them. That could be 99.9% of it. It might be after I do 5 or 6 guitars with the new file that I just fall in love with it. Right now, I'm still liking my old file. So, all right, guys, we're going to pretty much wrap it up for tonight. And hopefully everybody enjoyed the guitar review and come in here and we got to chat like we always do. And keep in mind, in the bottom of this video, I want somebody to post as far as the funds. I know Kurt said save. So if everyone would just go down to the comment section, I think we're at like $165. Just post in there, I'd like a review of guitar at X price point. I'm not going to lead anybody. We'll say 250 to 350, 350 to 450, 450 to 550, 550 to 650. The more expensive the unit is, the longer it'll take the channel to save the money to purchase the guitar. And then also keep in mind, since we're using Super Chat funds, once the guitar is reviewed, we're going to auction it off or raffle it off. It's free to a subscriber. That's what we're doing. I just don't know how we'll do it yet. We might do everyone's name in a box and use one of those computer programs to pick a name, and then that person gets the guitar. So that's what we're doing. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in. And like I said, without you guys, this would not be possible. Without you guys coming in and chatting and bringing up things, the live streams wouldn't be possible. It would be dull. And you guys make it fun. So hopefully everyone will come in Saturday night and do the Saturday night show. Like I said, we got Jupe's video coming up next week on leveling the frets. So it's going to be busy. Busy. That's all I've been doing is YouTube. I work all day, then YouTube all night. So hopefully it's making a difference. Thanks, guys. And I'll see you all on Saturday night. And don't forget to go down and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment on what kind of guitar price range you want us to do. All right, guys. Thank you so much.